She said, she'll take me anywhere, she'll take me anywhere, as long as she stays with me. She said, she'll take me anywhere, she'll take me anywhere, as long as I stay queen. Kiss, kiss Molly's lips, kiss, kiss Molly's lips, kiss, kiss Molly's lips, kiss, kiss Molly's lips. Hey, Mean Matt here, and just thought I would do this because I saw a review from Wrestling with Regret talking about a WCW Stargate 2000, and they had mentioned Armageddon. Now, obviously, I hadn't done a review for this, and I thought, well, it's December, so what the hell. You know, it's one of those things where back then I look at how my attitude was in this time period. Like, obviously, we would get to a lot more exciting things, but yeah, obviously, let's get to it. I think it's one of those things, too, where it's like, yeah, but did my opinions change? We'll find out. We got the pre-show from Sunday Night Heat. We had Scotty 2 Hotty, who defeated D'Lo Brown with Jazz and Tiger Ali Singh. I don't remember that staple, if you will, but I'm pretty sure that was a good match. Then we go on to this intergender elimination take team match. You have the Radicals. We got Dean Malenko, Eddie Guerrero, and Perry Saturn with Terry, who had defeated the Hardys, well, Team Extreme, obviously, and Lita. One question. Why wasn't it the Radicals and Terry? This was a good match, though. I mean, a lot of these teams are awesome, but I mean, yeah, it was basically kind of like elimination, if you will. But, yeah, you have Jeff Hardy, who was eliminated by Eddie. You've got Perry Saturn, that got eliminated by Jeff. You have Perry Saturn eliminated by Matt Hardy, which, not sure how the fuck that worked. You got Matt Hardy and Lita getting the pin on Dean Malenko. However, Dean Malenko got back and defeated Lita with the Texas Cloverleaf. So, interesting match. I mean, like I said, why didn't Terry? Because she was fully capable of having a match, obviously, the year before, being in PMS with Jacqueline and I think Tori. I can't remember again. But anyways, this was a good match. You've got the European title, you've got Hardcore Holly, and the champion of William Regal. And yeah, these two guys really went at it. I mean, Hardcore Holly, definitely one of the best wrestlers. You got William Regal, who did very well in his run in ECW. And this match really shows how awesome he was. I mean, he did a powerbomb, which I've never really seen William do before, but I obviously haven't seen a lot of matches lately. I gotta look back and watch more of them, but like, I honestly don't remember seeing that. But there was even a point where William Regal hit a superplex onto Hardcore Holly. And of course, this match ended when Raven came in and DDT'd Hardcore Holly and gave William Regal the win, attaining rather the European Championship. I missed that belt, but you know, it is what it is. I've got this match, another intergender match, if you will. Val Venus with Ivory, who defeated China. Now, I mean, this was a good match too. And we all know China, groundbreaking at the time for just being the first Intercontinental Champion, being the first woman in the Royal Rumble. You know, there was a point where they were going to put the WWE title on her, but that never worked out. So, this match was pretty cool. But yeah, Val Venus won. And then gave her the Blue Thunder Bomb for good measure. Again, don't know why Ivory wasn't involved, but she should have actually wrestled China, but for some reason. And it, you know, could have been the time. It's just kind of like, why? What did we go with that? But, you know, it is what it is. Like I said, it's one of those things where they tried to be shocking, and, you know, it was a good match for what it was. And I mean, the following months you'll have China and Ivory wrestle each other, you know, China breaking her neck, and then of course the Royal Rumble, and then lead into WrestleMania, where China will capture the women's title. So you have a last man standing match, Chris Jericho defeating Kane. Now this match was awesome. I mean, you have Chris Jericho at one point doing a moonsault on Kane. Well, Kane's got the chair on his chest, so that didn't work, obviously. It all escalated outside the ring onto the ramp. Now, obviously, I'm not sure if it was the times, or even because they were in Alabama. Well, it doesn't make sense. There always have seemed to be a lot of cars on the ramp, whether it was this pay-per-view or, let's say, Over the Edge 98. You know, there's a lot. But anyways, they did that, and then there was a point where Chris Jericho threw Kane onto the floor from the ramp, and then threw a bunch of kegs that were stacked on top of Kane, and getting the win. So, again, this is one of the few times they had faced each other, and that's pretty cool. I mean, I think that, you know, Kane, one of those guys that apparently was not supposed to last very long after facing Undertaker in 98, or, well, 97, but glad he stayed around for as long as he did, obviously. But yeah, this was a good match. And of course, Chris Jericho still going at it in AEW at 52, almost 53. You have the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match for the WWF. I said WWE before, but Tag Team Championships. Got Edge and Christian versus the Dudleys, K-Quick, and Road Dogg, Jesse James, and Rachel Sensor, Bob Buchanan, and The Good Father. This was a good match. All these teams basically are pretty cool. And I mean, when I saw Road Dogg and K-Quick coming out, first of all, I've never seen Ron Killings before this, and just being like, okay, this is different. You know, DX had just broken up, so it was kind of interesting. And then we know that Road Dogg definitely is a good singer. Like, Brian has that voice, even singing Jeff Jarrett's theme song. But again, looking at Ron Killings now as R-Truth, at age 50, he looks pretty damn good. So, but Edge and Christian picked up the win, winning the titles. Right to Censor were the tag team champions. So, that was a good match. Like a really, really good match. And at the time, I think the tag team division was very cool as well. And I mean, looking at what you will have with the ladder matches and the TLC matches, you know. And then you have a match for the Intercontinental title. Chris Benoit taking on Billy Gunn. Yeah, Billy Gunn was, in fact, the Intercontinental Champion. Again, going by Badass or The One. And this was a pretty good match. You thought that Billy Gunn was going to get the win, even doing the famouser. But then you have Benoit doing the German suplexes, and then the flying headbutt. He managed to get the win with the crippler crossface and getting the Intercontinental title. This was a fairly good match too. I mean, yeah. Then we have a triple threat for the Women's Championship. Ivory, who defeated Molly Holly and Trish Stratus. All three of these ladies are fantastic wrestlers even to this day. You know, seeing Ivory in the recent Women's Royal Rumble, and like she's still like fit. She can still go. And also pretty funny as well. Molly Holly, same thing, very athletic. Of course, we recently saw Trish Stratus, and yeah, she's still very fucking good herself. And kind of wish that she'd return in her match with Becky Lynch. That was pretty cool. But Ivory won, retaining the women's title. I think right to censor, I mean, obviously having Bob Buchanan and the Good Father as the tag team champions, losing it on last night. But having Ivory retaining the title was pretty cool. And then, of course, you got the main event. You got the six-man Hell in a Cell match. You got Kurt Angle, The Rock, Rikishi, Stone Cold, Triple H, and The Undertaker. Now, this match, obviously, I remember the classic Rock roasting his opponents for this match, but it was a good idea. And look, I love Hell in a Cell matches, and this match, in my opinion, was actually pretty cool. And I mean, you have Undertaker throwing Triple H to the cage a bunch of times, eventually giving him the Crimson Mask. There was that famous point where he got the pickup truck with the hay, and Rikishi was on the top of the cage with Undertaker, and Rikishi falling off the Hell in a Cell onto the hay. Now, a lot of people thought it was, maybe it was wood chips, doesn't matter. A lot of people thought that was kind of lame. Obviously, you don't want Rikishi to get hurt, so, you know, it was the safest way to do it. And then, of course, you got Kurt Angle retaining the title. And at the time, you know, I came home from school and I was in grade 11. I was still a Steve Austin fan. And I looked into the WWF website and I was like, fucking really? Kurt Angle? But now looking back, obviously, you know, things obviously change. Your opinions change. And yeah, obviously thinking that I like the fact that Kurt kept the title. He had just won it. And yeah, he would get it again in the future. But if he didn't get the title or win it, then obviously The Rock would have got it, which would have led into their match, you know, Steve Austin and The Rock. So yeah, and this was a good show. And I mean, trying to remember a lot from 2000, it's kind of like, I wasn't necessarily an occasional casual fan, I guess you could say. but definitely try to remember more from that year than I do with 2001. But I mean, that was a good show and a famous match. And like I said, I mean, a lot of people think it's lame, the Hell in the Cell 6-man match, but I thought it was pretty cool. But anyways, so there it is. Talk to you later. Bye.
Oh, yeah. So you know that them cutting WCW was a long time coming. I don't think that's the case at all. Because you look at some of this earlier interviews, like